Reinventing Yourself, How to Become the Person You've Always Wanted to Be. Written and read by Steve Chandler. Most of us today live in cocoons. It's dark and dusty inside, and we think we can't get out. We tell ourselves stories about the cocoons, but these stories are lies. They only feel like the truth because they've been repeated so often. We could tear open the cocoon if we wanted to. We could push out and see the light of the world. We could learn to fly. The cocoon is known by the name of personality. Most people live trapped inside their personalities for their entire lives, never knowing they can leave. They're victims of their own invented selves. They wake up each morning to a world that's gray and dusty. There's almost no light. Pushing against the inner wall of the cocoon seems too hard. Why bother? And how can we know for sure if there's anything on the other side? But there are people who learn to push through. They learn to think all over again. People who take up thinking again learn to fly. They learn to enjoy taking full possession of their own freedom. In effect, they reinvent who they are. And in the process, they become owners of the human spirit. One way to get a visual picture of an owner of the human spirit is to watch an early video clip of Elvis Presley singing Heartbreak Hotel. You'll see the joy, the power, and the possession. Owners give all of themselves to what they're doing. They pour all their energy into the current moment. Our studies of human performance over the years have proven that there are only two kinds of people in any given situation: victims and owners. A victim is someone who sees power as something beyond their control. Victims have a habitually lonely and pessimistic way of viewing and describing the world and its people. Although self-victimization can often last a lifetime, it is only a habit. When it's understood, it can be quickly replaced. This program is about what to replace it with. Victims don't get their habit from heredity. They think themselves into it. And what's tragic is that their thinking is based on a fundamental misunderstanding. A misunderstanding that's as fundamental as thinking that the world is flat. Victims think all power is outside of them. They think power is in other people and in circumstance. Victims then continue to victimize themselves throughout their lives by thinking and speaking in deeply pessimistic terms about everything they're challenged by. They're easily discouraged. Their stories take on the weary tones of people who are living in defeat. They have little energy for anything. And their passive tendency to fall into depression reminds us of Andre Gide's observation that sadness is almost always a form of fatigue. Owners, on the other hand, take full responsibility for their energy. They continuously tap into the power of the human spirit. They use that spirit as a fire to invent and then reinvent who they are. They don't look for outside sources to supply their motivation. They're not waiting for deliverance. They don't wish they were somewhere else. They agree with Nathaniel Branden that this earth is the distant star we must find a way to reach. To an owner, children are always worth observing because children love and enjoy the planet they're on. They reinvent themselves all the time. We can hear their spirit in the air. We've only to open a window a little bit to hear the shouts of joy at the schoolyard down the road. In a grown-up place of business, the shouts of joy are nowhere to be heard. Where did they go? What happened? For some of us, the spirit has gone into hiding completely, waiting only for a dramatic outside adventure, such as a world war, to fire it up once again. But we don't have to wait for a war. We can feel the spirit again if we're willing to breathe life into it. It's an eternal flame. We can make it burn brighter if we're willing to know how. It's all a matter of how we see ourselves and others. We can give the spirit the oxygen it feeds on by finding the words to think, the words to say, "This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine." Part 1. Owners of the Spirit. I was watching a TV ad for Gatorade. Michael Jordan ended the spot by saying, "Life is a sport, drink it up." It reminded me of a bumper sticker I've seen over the years that says, "Life is a bitch and then you die." I've begun to use this bumper sticker in my seminars as a teaching tool. It's one of the most effective tools I've ever used because of how quickly it makes a point. Not long ago, I was conducting a workshop for a major high-tech company. There were about 100 people in the audience. As I wrote the words, "Life is a bitch and then you die," on the board, one of the participants called out, "Hey, I've got that on my coffee cup." "You drink from that philosophy every day?" I said. "I sure do," he said. "Well, we're going to study it," I said. "When we're through, you might want to give that cup to someone you'd like to put a curse on." The bumper sticker, "Life is a bitch and then you die," is a perfect expression of the core belief system of a victim. It also contains the key to why victimized, pessimistic thinking always leads to fatigue and low performance. Why victims are victims of their own defeated thinking. For the fun of it, let's say that the first half of the bumper sticker has some truth. Let's say that we agree. Life is a bitch, or any variation of that. Life is difficult. Life is unfair. Life will wear you out. Life is a struggle. But if that's true, how can we then go on to complain, "Then you die"? If life is so bad, what's wrong with dying? That's the contradiction. That's the double bind in the philosophy. It'd be just like saying, "I hate being here, and what's worse, I might have to leave." Or, "I hate working here, and what's worse, they might lay me off." Remarkably, a lot of people think exactly like that. About life, about their jobs, about their marriages, about everything. Like the singer in Old Man River, "I'm tired of living and scared of dying." But the brain won't let us have it both ways. The human brain is a magical biocomputer. It sends us energy when we send it something clearly and logically inspiring. But it slows us up when we feed it something that's self-contradictory. "Whoa," shouts the chorus of cells in the body. The brain and body go on strike because the brain wants harmonious logic. It always seeks out wholeness and completion. It's illogical that life would be bad and death would be bad. In fact, if life truly were a bitch, then the bumper sticker ought to say cheerfully, "Life is a bitch, but then you die." Maybe put on a little happy face at the end. Then it might even help people more by putting a phone number at the bottom of the bumper sticker. 1-800-KEVORKIAN. It could be a service. In order for us to learn to be owners of the human spirit, it helps if we know what being an owner looks and feels like. It helps to have a picture. I remember a few years ago when I gave two of my daughters a picture. Margie and Stephanie were both rehearsing for school singing assignments. Margie was in the 6th grade, singing a school choir solo of a song from Beauty and the Beast. And Stephanie was rehearsing for the junior high school talent show, in which she was singing a Mariah Carey song called Hero. Both girls asked me to listen to their rehearsals, and I did. I told them they sounded good enough musically. Both girls had good voices, were hitting the notes, but something was missing: the spirit. I told them it was okay to let loose a little, to really get into it. I recommended that they start to over-rehearse, to rehearse enough times to reach a state of ownership of the song, to get that feeling that the song was all theirs. Margie pinned a piece of paper to the wall of her bedroom and made a mark on it every time she sang the song. She sang it over and over and over. Stephanie also rehearsed more and more, and still her song was coming out tentative and prissy, way held back. But they both pushed on. Finally, Margie's concert came, and